Hello, welcome to Bjorn Tarot. Today we're going to be doing a reading, and it's going to be about messages from your highest self. Always take these messages with a grain of salt, and if it doesn't make sense to you, definitely don't watch it. But if you want to take a moment, pause the video, meditate and see which of the three groups you feel most called to, and we'll get started. Hello, group 1. Welcome to your reading. You guys chose this crystal. Can't remember the name. And you chose healing along with number 29, Flower of Life. And it says inspiration, awe, and dreams. With this healing card, it's really all about reaching a point where we can no longer ignore our wounds, where it's time to start processing in whatever pace feels comfortable or right for you. And it's about us doing this so we can kind of feel whole again as a person. Like maybe some things have come up to the surface where you're noticing how these things might be like putting up blocks in your life in different areas. And it's also just being aware of your own wounds so they don't grow and fester and cause more problems in your life. And I think your highest self is pointing this out to you because they do want you to feel inspiration, to be in awe, and to follow your dreams. And I think the way to do that would be through healing or beginning to process some wounds. I'm just going to place this here. We're going to be using the Neon Rider-Waite tarot deck today if you're reading. So what does group 1 need to hear with this healing card, with the Flower of Life? Clear guided messages, please, for group 1. What does their highest self want to come through to say today for group 1 in their healing? Okay, so we have the Page of Swords. Group 1, we have the Two of Swords. Lots of air, mental energy with the swords. Group 1, what does group 1's highest self want to tell them today? We have the 10 of Wands. So already I feel like with the Page of Swords can be very curious, eager to learn, very open, very ready to explore any options. The thing about this though too, on the other side of it, is that sometimes the Page of Swords can be so inspired mentally where they kind of end up jumping from one thing to another, and they're kind of like have this scattered energy where they're not fully able to focus on one thing. And so maybe with your healing, this could bring about a lot of like mental scatteredness. It can kind of throw you off a little bit mentally, thoughts wise. So I think that might be why you might be avoiding some areas that need attention when it comes to our emotional wounds. You also got the Two of Swords. This stands for when we are blinded from a decision or truth. So in between, so this figure is wearing a blindfold, and there are these two swords here, and in between these swords is just a lack of clarity. It's like the opposite of the Ace of Swords when it's like a strike of clarity. No, this is more about indecision, being confused, and kind of just being stuck, frozen mentally, because you can't come to a decision. And I think this stems from the heavy load you are carrying with whatever wounds you may have. The 10 of Wands represents someone who is nearing completion, but they are carrying such a heavy load. They're tired, they're fatigued. They still have a ways to go before they're able to drop these wands off, to take some of the weight off of them. It's kind of like you're exhausted, but you have to keep going type of thing. So I feel like the things that you need to heal, wounds that you may need to start processing and working through, like I said, at your own pace. There's no right or wrong way as far as pace goes. Like, you know, do what is right for you, what you're able to do little by little. Everyone's different with their capacity. What else for group 1? What is their highest self? So we have the King of Wands. The King of Wands is a leader. It's that fire, Aries energy. They're very inspired. They're ready to stand up out of this chair when they do need to defend themselves, but they're also cool, calm, collected. So they're ready for whatever comes at them, but they're also kind of stoic and relaxed at the same time in the meantime. They're confident, they're successful. So I think your highest self is trying to remind you that, like, you do have this King of Wands energy within you as far as like dealing with some of these wounds, some of the healing that needs to happen. And I think that's where this inspiration, awe, and dreams comes in, is because your highest self is saying like, hey, you know, this is throwing you off in different areas in your life, not addressing the wounds, not addressing or trying to heal, but just covering it up, and it's caused a lot of mental scatteredness. It's kept you from having like a clear focus for whatever reason. I think that if you were to have more understanding and processing, I think you would not have such a hard time with decision making or just being able to see clearly like what's right for you. It's part of it. It's like it kind of takes away from your confidence these wounds that need attention and love and care. And that's the heavy load you are carrying, but your highest self is saying with the King of Wands, this confidence is within you, it awaits you, but you have to take off this blindfold in order to see clearly, in order to hear your thoughts and your needs clearly. What else for group 1, please? What does their highest self want to tell them? Okay, so we have the 9. Can you see this? I'll just go like this. So 9 of Pentacles, the Sun. Love that. So the 9 of Pentacles is kind of like an independent energy. This person is alone. They're enjoying all they've worked for. They're enjoying themselves outside. They're connected to nature. They're abundant. They have all the material, earthly, grounded needs are met. But there is almost a loneliness. So maybe you have been able to accomplish some things like in the material world, the physical world, but perhaps this independence or like a hyper independence it's like you might have some of these material needs met or domestic needs met, but it's almost like there's something missing where you may feel a little bit lonely even with that success. We have the sun as well coming out, so that's all about celebration, joy, vitality, innocence. Let's see what else comes through. The sun can also stand for clarity, like a light being shone on what is unclear to you. So I think the more processing you do, and maybe like reaching out to others so you don't, if this resonates for you, maybe not everyone, but if you do have a tendency towards hyper independence with this Nine of Pentacles, it might do you good to reach out for help, for support, and so you also know you're not alone. And that can help you come to this clarity with the sun as well, and joy, and feeling that vitality again, which kind of reminds me of the King of Wands with that fire energy and that confidence. What else for group one? What does their highest self want to share with them today? We have the Hanged Man coming out. So, okay, one more card before I start talking. What else for group one, please? What does their highest self want to communicate? We'll take both of these as one card. So we have the Ace of Swords and the Eight of Wands. I'm taking the Ace of Swords kind of as a reversal, as like a lack of clarity, a lack of seeing things clearly. But I also am taking it in the upright position because it came out with the Eight of Wands. And the Eight of Wands is about a quick landing. It's rapid movement. It's something in motion that is coming to land, which I'm viewing this as your healing process. And so I think, like, yes, you have a lack of clarity right now, but I think with this Hanged Man coming out, the Hanged Man is about like when we're almost backed into a corner, we can't avoid anymore. It's like with the Hermit, you go in yourself to like your subconscious, to process, to come to clarity, to be enlightened in some way, and taking the time alone to do that. The Hanged Man is when we have to surrender because there's no other option. Like, we've come to a dead end, and now we have to figure out we have nothing left but to go inside ourselves and be introspective and come to this enlightenment and clarity and kind of surrender to the difficult situation, so that we are not bound anymore, so we can be released and from our own bounds, or from our own setbacks, I guess, too. I think overall your higher self is giving you encouragement. Overall, they want you to step into this King of Wands energy, the Sun energy. That's the positive part that comes after we go through, sorry, I can't talk. After we go through some of these hardships of going through the process of unmasking, carrying the burden to the finish line, seeing our successes, but also realizing when we might need to reach out and connect with community. Sorry, group one, your reading kind of got cut off at the end there. But overall, I just wanted to wrap it up and say, I think your higher self is definitely reminding you of your confidence with the King of Wands. They want you to reawaken your inspiration and your dreams and work through any blockages in that area that might be rooted in this need to heal and be aware of our wounds. And I think that's really going to bring out this happiness and vitality back into your life. Working through the Hanged Man is only going to bring you enlightenment and clarity and free you from whatever has stopped you up in the past. And I think once that happens, if I didn't already say it, I think you're going to have all of a sudden this strike of clarity, thoughts-wise, mentally, that's going to rapidly bring everything down to landing, down to understanding, and maybe even being grounded. But that's what I see for you, Group 1. I'm wishing you the best of luck, and I hope this was helpful. If it was, please like, subscribe, comment if you feel comfortable. I love to hear any input, and it also just helps me grow my channel. So thank you so much, and I'm wishing you all the best in your healing if this did make sense to you. Thanks, Group 1. Okay, let me just change the lighting. That's better. Hello, Group 2. Welcome to your reading. Again, today we're going to be asking any messages from our highest self, anything to consider. This is a crystal you chose. I can't remember the name of it, unfortunately. And these are the cards you chose. So you got 6, compromise, and then you got Syrians. It says responsibilities, lessons, and growing up. So I'm just going to put these here during the reading. So this compromise card is kind of about when we make compromises that don't really align with our true wants and needs. So it's almost like we're compromising our own authenticity, our own integrity, because we think we need to do this to, like, maybe survive through a situation. You know, it depends on what the situation was. Sometimes we just are put in those situations where we don't have much of a choice in that moment. But this is more about, like, when we are a little bit confused on the right thing to do, so we end up compromising what is best for us, what we know is best for us, even in the confusion. With this card coming out, I think that sometimes these compromises we make end up being life lessons for us, because they usually come with some sort of consequence that ends up hurting ourselves or our lives. And we all go through that, so don't feel called out or alone. It's just, you know, everyone has different circumstances, situations, experiences, and we're all just doing the best we can to navigate through that. But yeah, I think that you may have had to sacrifice or make compromises that weren't true to you, that ended up being lessons in your life that maybe gave you more wisdom as well. Let's see. So let's get your tarot. This is for group 2. What does group 2's highest self want to say today? Clear guided messages for group 2. We're talking about making compromises that don't serve our highest self. We're talking about lessons, responsibility. This is for group 2. Okay, so we have strength coming out first. That's powerful. So strength is about being strong, but it's also about us learning how to like tame our the part of ourselves that are very instinctive, reactive, impulsive. So we're calling on our highest self almost with this figure to help us know how to tame our own inner animalistic tendencies and reactions. Group 2, what does group 2's higher self want to say today? We have the Ace of Wands. This is about new beginnings, new inspiration, new passion, that fire energy, double fire energy here. So maybe this reading might apply to Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Doesn't have to be. What else for group 2, please? What does their highest self want to come through to say? We have the 10 of Pentacles almost coming out in reverse. Okay. Might have to do something with family. Group 2, what does group 2's higher self want to say? We have the Moon. So I think group 2, with the compromise and the lessons and growing up, and then like I said with the strength, this is about us learning how to like tame our inner impulses and desires, so we can make decisions from our highest self or like our logical selves. It's also about courage, persistence, and our inner power, because we can overpower these instincts with our intellect and with our personal power. I think there's been like, I do think that you're already aware of like whatever this was in the past, the compromise you had to make, how it ended up kind of backfiring, about how it ended up being a huge life lesson. And so I feel like you're already like on the right track of like understanding these lessons. But I don't know, I just feel some kind of haziness or some kind of blockages when it comes to some kind of like family legacy stuff. Like there may be a lack of like feeling like you have a grounded support system even. I feel like you're not quite sure what is lurking in the dark and what is being illuminated in front of you as the truth. I also think you're learning to trust your intuition, because sometimes that's what we have to rely on when we can't see in the dark. That's one of the things that we can use to kind of see through things that are not clear. And intuition is partially rooted in our lessons and wisdom and all that stuff. It just strengthens that intuition and that the pattern recognition. So I feel like your highest self is kind of just like, if you're not, I feel like a lot of you guys already are in this energy with the strength. I just keep looking at the strength card and going back to that. But I feel like you guys already are in this process of like, you learned from this situation and now you are actively trying to learn how to not have that happen again. You're hungry for a new beginning, and your higher self encourages that. It may be even something to do with family, where now you want a new beginning and you feel passionate and you feel driven to create this family abundance or family security that maybe you didn't have. Maybe you didn't have that family security, and that is why you compromised your integrity or just like what you felt was right in the past. So it's like, maybe now you are letting this wisdom fuel you to create the secure family life that you want. But I think there's a lot of illusions, a lot of confusion on what that even means. Like, maybe you don't even know what that looks like. But with the moon, it's like there's a lot in the dark, but there's a strong need to listen to your heart, listen to your intuition. And then you have the King of Cups. This is about somebody who is very a leader, but also empathetic, who is emotionally intelligent, who is fair, who you can have a conversation with. So I feel like this is something your higher self is wanting you to embrace, this kind of King of Cups energy. The King of Cups is also about like balance and creativity. So it's like they almost want you to get creative on ways that you can walk into this new beginning with the Ace of Wands and create the family. It doesn't have to be blood family, it could be friends. You know, everybody has different group support systems in their lives. It doesn't always have to be blood related family, but yeah, you want to create this really secure support system, right? What else? And then we have the Fool coming out. We have 3 major arcanas so far. This is another new beginning, and it comes out right underneath this Ace of Wands. The Fool is the new beginning. The Fool is about innocence, taking a leap of faith, not only relying on the past to make decisions for you, because sometimes we can base our past mistakes and think that, well, this is how it's going to be in the future because I don't know another way. But this is about taking a leap of faith without connecting it to your past and without worrying about the future too much. Now, sometimes the Fool can lead himself off a cliff, as you can see, but this Fool has to start the journey somewhere. So it's like you can use your wisdom that you have gained from this compromise and this strength and your intuition with the Moon to be able to navigate this Fool through the process the best way you can. And I think you're going to be doing it with a lot of emotional intelligence that maybe you did not possess before, or maybe you just never were around people who had a lot of emotional maturity or intelligence. What else? What does Group 2's highest self want to say? And then we have the Seven of Pentacles. So the Seven of Pentacles is a card of patience. It's when you plant your seed, you watch your crop grow, you're waiting to harvest your fruit, and you're kind of like, you've kind of like reached the end of your rope as far as like resources go in the material world, because Pentacles are like, can have to do with finances, career, worldly matters and stuff. And so it's like you kind of might be at a place where you're like, how much longer can I go on without getting this return. Like, I'm putting a lot of work into this, but I need these crops to be ripe so I can like survive through the summer and the winter and everything. So there's like patience that is needed with this card, because we have to kind of have faith that it's gonna pan out and we're gonna have you know, the ripe fruit that we need to push forward. So maybe you're still in the process of you know, and this comes right underneath this 10 of Pentacles. So it's like, this is the way to get to this 10 of Pentacles, which is like legacy, abundance, financial and domestic security, and family. And so this is the way to that path. And it's hard to see that this can turn into such a secure thing. But you have to take a leap of faith with the Fool, and you have to keep your emotions in balance, and approach things from a balanced mindset, as well as using that strength energy to kind of help you through to make the right decisions, as well as the Moon with relying on your intuition. What else for group 2? What does our highest self want to say? And then you have the 3 of Wands. So the 3 of Wands is about expansion. It's when we've already made a plan and we've already set that plan in motion, and now we're looking to see where that's going to lead, which makes perfect sense with the 7 of Pentacles. Like, we're seeing, is this going to pan out where it's going to lead to this 10 of Pentacles that is a goal in my life, that I would like to achieve, and also to remedy the hardships of the past by having that security. And yeah, the 3 of Wands is like, you're watching, you've already set plans in motion, and now you're watching it to see if it's going to be successful. It's about growth as well. Let's see. So overall, I think group 2, your highest self is coming through today to say, yes, things happen in the past. We all have a past, all of us, and we've all made mistakes. We've all had to go through painful lessons, and that strengthens your character depending on what you do with that wisdom and information and the lessons. If you take the lessons, you can use them to your benefit to grow your life and be happy. Your highest self is reminding you that you do have these tools for this new beginning, that you can start something new. It's just about taming our reactiveness. It's about trusting our intuition and not running away in fear when we can't totally see the outcome. The King of Cups, it's like they're reminding your highest self, is reminding you like how, like, you're not giving yourself enough credit for how emotionally intelligent and just like wise you are, because I think of maybe like some mistakes of the past, or like maybe you're like really hard on yourself, like even if it wasn't something you necessarily inflicted, like you still might be really hard on yourself for whatever it was you did go through. So they're like, take a leap of faith, new beginning. And again, it was right under that Ace of Wands. It's going to take patience to get here. And it's also going to take you kind of just like watching, waiting, and adapting through the not knowing of the Moon, and seeing through any illusions along the way, which you now will be able to see because you do have this wisdom and you can use that now. I think people forget that sometimes we go through like rough periods in life or make mistakes and we're really hard on ourselves. It's hard to look at the silver lining, but these, hopefully you will take them as a lesson and see the wisdom that you have and use it. That's what I see for you, group 2. I hope this was helpful. I hope it was clear. If it was, and if you don't mind, please subscribe, like, comment, share. It just helps me grow the channel, and I also am always happy and curious if you feel comfortable sharing in the comments like how you related to this. And also feel free, guys, to make requests for more pick a card reading topics. Wishing you the best of luck, group 2. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And again, wishing you the best. Hello, group 3. You guys chose this crystal. I'm not sure the name of it. And for your cards, you chose Mind, and you chose Ununkai, or sorry, Anunnaki. Sorry, I can't pronounce this. But it stands for controlling drama, conflict of interest. Okay, Mind, controlling drama, conflict of interest. Sorry, I couldn't pronounce that word for some reason. So with the Mind card, this is when we have so much going on in our minds that there's no clarity, there's no understanding, like it's clouding your mind from the thoughts that want to come through, because your mind is always filled up with worry, with looping thoughts. It's like it never stops, just looping over and over, and there's always anxious thoughts coming in, or like things sideswiping you, where there's no room for you to really do anything else, where you almost feel stuck in this energy where the mind has control over you instead of you having control over your mind and your thoughts. So it might be stemming from some situation in your life or person who is controlling, maybe drama in your life, something like that. So maybe there's someone in your life, if not yourself, that's kind of causing some upheaval and disruption, where it's really hard for you to like disconnect from. Maybe let's see what comes through in the tarot. This is for group 3. Can we please get clear guided messages for group 3? Shuffle it again. With this Mind card, the scattered thoughts, the racing thoughts, the drama, controlling. For group 3, please, what does group 3's highest self want to come through to communicate today? Group 3. Group 3. We have the Page of Pentacles coming through first. The Page of Pentacles is someone who is young, maybe inexperienced, and they see opportunity, though. They may not have the most experience or know-how, but they're optimistic. They see the opportunity and how it can transform into something. You also got the 5 of Cups. The 5 of Cups stands for someone who is grieving. they are standing before these cups, which represent our emotions and feelings and subconscious and all that kind of stuff. And so these cups have fallen over. This person is grieving the loss, but they're so focused on what they have lost that they can't see behind them. There's still 2 cups standing of something they have not lost. So let's see what else comes through. Group 3. What does Group 3's highest self want to say? So I feel like your highest self is already saying, look, like even if things are messed up right now, even if you feel so scattered, you're not able to see, because of this, there's no room for you to be able to see the opportunities that are possible for you. I think there's this film or like cloud of heavy negativity on you from this dysregulation going on, but if that cloud was removed, you would really be able to see the opportunities that are ahead of you, that are available to you. You would also see that you still have 2 cups standing, that not all is lost through this difficult emotional change. And then you get the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune can be about destiny and good fortune, but it talks about cycles in our lives. Nothing is ever the same. Things are always, like, time never stops. We're always going to be in this cycle. So I think it might be hard for you to see that right now with these cards coming out. And with your first cards, it's almost like you're not able to see past the present because it's so overwhelming. There's no room for in your mind to think of any other possibilities or anything. So it's like your highest self is coming in to remind you not all is lost. You still have opportunity, even if you'll have to maybe start from a place of learning. Not all is lost, and the tides are going to change, and hopefully for the better. Hopefully there will be fortune, you know. And then we have, these kind of came out together, so I'm going to take it together. I'm going to take this as reverse. So with the 3 of Swords and the Emperor, I guess, reverse, there is like a loss of control. There is a heartbreak, a grief, and somebody who maybe abused their power a little bit. Yeah, I think there's like conflict here. There's a childishness, there's an immaturity. And I think this came from someone else. Maybe it was a relationship, or it could be friendship, it could be it could be anyone in your life that you have regular contact with, or like some kind of relationship with in one way or another. But it's kind of like this is what is causing kind of, or is a part of why you can't have any mental peace, is because there's still a lot of grieving going on. You got the 5 of Cups and the 3 of Swords, 2 cards about grieving and loss. Okay, the light just went out. Sorry about that. I think that's enough light. Sorry, guys. Okay. What else for group 3? Clear guided messages. We have the 2 of Swords. This came out in, I think, group 1. So the 2 of Swords is about indecision. It's when we are blindfolded from seeing the truth. There's just a lot of mental chaos where we can't have clarity to come to a decision. And that's right next to this mind card too. So it's like, let's see, what else? We have the 2 of Wands. So it's like, and then we have these 2s together. It's like things are going to come together. you're going to have more mental clarity, but you need a plan. You need to take a step back and draw up a new blueprint for your life, or for yourself, or for this realm in your situation, if this does resonate. Once you do that, you'll be able to then take these plans and move them into action. But I think you just like sitting down and making some sort of game plan for yourself is going to help take you out of this like mental prison almost that you might be feeling like you're in. So it's going to take a lot of effort for you to step back and look at these two standing cups and turn these cups into a new plan of action. The wands are about inspiration, action, passion. So not all is lost, and you can still make a new plan. Oh my God. And then this also came out, I think, in the last reading. So getting the the Three of Wands right next to the Two of Wands is kind of wild to me. And then under the Wheel of Fortune. So it's like, yeah, all of this is just going to kind of naturally progress once you do make the plan. The next step is seeing that plan in action, seeing your ships set sail, and seeing how that ends up working out for you. So like things are in motion and we're looking to see how our plan is panning out. And that comes right under the Wheel of Fortune, which again is about change and cycles and new chapters ending, old chapters closing. So I think that's a really good sign. And then we have Justice. This is about balance, fairness, and truth. So I think with this coming out underneath this like reverse Emperor with the Three of Swords, I think another thing that keeps you in your head is like a lack of justice with this situation that caused a lot of harm and pain and grief in your life. So I think that it's saying, your higher self is saying, you may not necessarily get justice from this situation in the way that you need and deserve, but one way that you can kind of take matters into your own hands is by trying hard to, and I know it's easier said than done, trust me, like I know it's not easy when you're in this state of mind and you're grieving. It's really hard to see any positive thing that could come when you're in that mode. But your highest self is coming in to say you are going to have justice and balance by making this new plan for yourself, seeing that not all is lost, seeing that you can learn something new, you can have a new opportunity. Even if you don't know all the answers yet, you will learn them as you go. And you can learn lessons without making huge mistakes too. Like lessons don't always have to stem from like traumatic experiences or like harmful, hurtful experiences. So I think the justice for now will be found in you just like making a plan, bringing it into action. I think this blindfold is going to come off and you're going to have a lot more mental clarity, and that's what's going to help you break out of this. I think it's going to be a process. This is not going to be an overnight fix, but this is something that your higher self is asking you to start considering and working on little by little, day by day. Do what you can. There's nothing too small that it doesn't matter how small the action is, it's all going to add up. Any action is better than no action in this case, because right now your mind is completely cluttered with a lot of heaviness, where you can't even think straight, right? So I think you shedding, if there was any drama or someone controlling you or something like that, it's time to release and let it go. as much as you can, because you deserve happiness, you deserve a fresh start, you deserve expansion and balance and good things, fortune to come into your life. So that's what I see for you, group 3. I really hope that was helpful to you. I'm wishing you all the best of luck, and I hope that you have peace, and I hope that you see the power that you do have within you and see that not all is lost, and you will have mental peace again. Thank you, group 3. If this was helpful, please like, subscribe, share, comment. It all just helps the channel, and I'm always interested to hear anything anyone's willing to share. But yeah, thanks, and I'll see you guys next time. If you have any suggestions for pick a card topics you'd like to see, comment below, and I'll definitely consider that. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'm wishing you all the healing and peace.